namaste, welcome, good afternoon to all those who are in India, and good morning or maybe even good evening in whichever part of the world you are joining us from. My name is Deepak Khemani and I am one of the co-founders of Bloom. Bloom, a dream 115 Sundays ago, is now a reality. Every Sunday, non-stop for the last 115 weeks, 116th now, we have been online for you, speaking with an expert to give clarity in your life, to give clarity to your profession, to think and plan how to go ahead with your life, with your wealth, with your health, with your relationships, with everything that you do and come across in life today. Many experts, coaches, trainers, speakers have graced our platform. And today we have a very special guest who is joining us all the way from Noida, Delhi, India. She is Dr. Preeti Batra. I take this opportunity to ask my co-host, Dr. Neeta Mhatre Mishra, another co-founder of Bloom, to introduce her and take this program ahead. Over to you, Dr. Neeta.
Thank you, Deepak sir, and thank you all the viewers wherever you are and how you are engaging with us and keeping bloomed. So we are in complete gratitude with every one of you. So I get the opportunity to introduce Dr. Preeti Batra, but let me tell you, friends, that I am not going to be that. I want to be honest to tell you that she has a lot of credentials. So I will just overview few points of hers, and definitely I would ask Dr. Preeti to talk about herself. So according to Dr. Preeti, a life without purpose is like a wildfire. And my dear friends, even I do agree that you need to have a purpose in life. So what better can be that we have a clarity coach, that is Dr. Preeti Batra, where she helps the women entrepreneurs on getting the clarity for their goals, for their mission, for their business plans, for their marketing strategy, for their powerful message to go out into the world and create a space for themselves and live in the desired dreams what they want to achieve in their life. And when they talk about achieving, here is the entire team of Dr. Preeti Batra, a platform which she has crafted for everyone to fulfill that dreams which will not only give them the courage to live the life, but will also give them financial freedom, will also give them the purpose of living. So without a delay, over to you, Dr. Preeti Batra. Maybe you can enhance a small tips which I have said about you in a better way, and then we would proceed with the Q&A.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Dr. Neeta. I'm truly humbled for this invite, because this is something when we are creating our credibility. And if from the LinkedIn platform, if we get this kind of thing where you can spread your word out, this is something really amazing. And all thanks to Payal ji, Deepak ji, Abhijit sir for thinking that, yes, I have the potential to share my views with the world. Thank you so much. Now, if we talk about clarity, if we start with Bhagavad Gita, so then Kurukshetra was the Karyakshetra, the workplace, the war field. Now, when we assume that when we go into the war field, if we are going without our weapons, if we are going without any clarity, what will be the end result? We all know that. Now there, Krishna is leading Arjuna. In a way, the intellect is helping the man to understand the clarity of his goals, why he has to get into that war field, why he has to use those weapons, which are very important. So when we get into our life, when we get this life, when we are so small, when we are child, we don't have any belief system. We don't have any kind of, habit pattern. Okay. Now, because we are raw, because we are naive, we understand that it's very simple, the way it is, that's life for us. But then we create our frame of references. Then we create the problems. Then we are told that this should be done, this should not be done. And then we create that belief pattern, the system in our minds. And probably we lose the clarity. In fact, we are very clear when we are children. When whatever we want, we can take it the way we want it. That stubbornness, that kind of, if you must have seen any small kid in the market, and he is getting stubborn, he wants something, and he tries n number of things, all ways and means, to find his place, to find that thing, to take that thing from his mother. He is not worried about whether he has resources or not, whether her mother is willing to pay the price or not. He just wants that thing. So that means he has better clarity than us. So that's what, when we are talking about clarity is something, for example, we are planning to go somewhere. Now, if we don't decide the destination, how will we set our GPS system? So clarity is nothing but the destination, the goal. The clarity is something which is the North Star for us. That shows us that this is the place where we want to reach. Now, for example, if we talk about, a horse rider, and he's riding on the horse, and he's saying, please get aside, I want to go there. But where? He says, wherever the horse takes me, I'll go there. I guess 90% of the people, they have no idea why are they moving, where are they going. That clarity is missing. So my aim is to make people aware of their purpose in life, because if we go by the Maslow's theory, you must have seen the physiological needs, then the security needs, and then the success mindset, where you're looking for self-esteem, the self-worth, and then the significant mindset. Okay. So self-actualization need is nothing but the significant mindset. So moving from the scarcity mindset to significant mindset, that's the journey of a life. Now, if we only move into this scarcity mindset, if we keep moving ourselves into scarcity mindset, or we are hopping in between the scarcity mindset or the success mindset, again we are coming down, again we are moving up, again we are coming down, but finally we are not reaching at that level, which is known as significant mindset. And why are we not reaching there? Because we don't have the clarity of our purpose, because we have not looked for the North Star. We are just following the rat race. What others are doing, I should also do. In the business, we call it as we become the part of the red ocean strategy. Whereas if we go by Earl Nightingale's words, he says that the purpose of anyone is not to compete. It's to create. So what is that thing which I can create? That is the clarity. What is that thing that makes me significant? That is the clarity. What is that particular thing, one thing with which I can add value up to the extent that others can see that kind of clarity in me, and they can also find out that clarity in themselves? Is there one thing which is unique of me? A school teacher, when she found her purpose, she became Mother Teresa. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, he found his purpose only when, he was told to get out of the train, or he was thrown out of the train. Till that time, he didn't have that kind of purpose of life. So he was also moving in that kind of rat race till that time. So at times, there is just one moment which is good enough for transformation. So we can see that in many lives like Tulsidas and Narendra, because Narendra, jinko we know him by the name of Swami Vivekanand. So what is that transformation time? What is that transformation period, that transformation moment that comes into our life? I must say that this is not something where we are saying all the other moments are not paving that kind of milestone for us. It is not that. This is something like when you are, creating a beautiful sculpture, let's say, okay, and the last stroke is not defining the beauty of that sculpture. It is the 9900 strokes which were needed to create that beautiful sculpture. But you need that clarity that I need to create this. Okay, so that is the clarity of, anything in life, whatever you are doing. It's not that only, for example, for us women, if in case we have to prepare a dish, if we don't know what dish we have to prepare, there is no clarity. Okay, and then we are asking, I don't know kya bano. Okay, and that's a big question mark, not only for the lady, but for the complete house.
I think और हर समय बच्चे और सभी लोग बोलते कुछ भी बनाओ.
Exactly.
कुछ भी का definition ही नहीं समझ रहा था कि exactly what does this कुछ भी बनाओ.
So that clarity is missing. And once you are clear in your mind ke हाँ ये बनाना है, then you know the ingredients, how you have to make it. So that's the whole thing. That's the whole idea of clarity. So first thing which we need to understand is taking ourselves to that mindset.
So Dr. Preeti, I'm really very happy, and I think this is the 116th episode of Bloom, and the best part of Bloom which is started is with the spiritual context. Karmanne vadika raste ma phaleshu krat. So aapne jab, when you were talking about Sri Krishna and when you're talking about Arjuna, that is how we brought in the clarity. So taking back the words from Mahabharata, but not from Mahabharata exactly, but taking the words from Sadhguru, that Sadhguru always mentioned a very beautiful thing on clarity was confidence without clarity is always disastrous. And when it comes to leadership, when it comes to business, when it comes to goal, the leader must have clarity. It is not the confidence. So it is very important that you should know कि आपको जाना कहाँ है, what is your destination, right? So how do you navigate that clarity in business plan or business making?
Okay. See, first of all, whenever we are thinking about clarity, there is only one way of reaching that flow. Because you're talking about spirituality, and the spiritual context here is about Patanjali Yoga Darshan. Okay, so Patanjali Yoga Darshan is talking about how we can reach that flow. It is giving you a complete definition by giving the 8 limbs, Yoga Sutra. So you must have heard about Yam, Niyam, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar. Everybody have heard. Now, if we actually think about that thing, so first thing where Yam means the morality. First of all, that morality, that code of conduct is very, very important. How are you going to move? That is really important. That morality is really important whenever you are thinking of doing a business, because you have chosen a purpose to add some value in somebody's life. So the code of conduct is very, very important. That is the first step. How you are going to conduct it. That morality should be there. When you are in competition, you always think about how to, get into that cutthroat kind of a thing. It's not about cutting that throat. It's about creating something very unique, creating something which is helpful for others also. So first thing is morality. Second thing is discipline. Very, very important. Because niyam means the body discipline, the kind of discipline, what kind of discipline you are following. You can have self-confidence with discipline only. You cannot have confidence without any discipline, because your brain is not willing to accept. Because when, in the morning, if you're setting an alarm and then you're thinking, yeah, I'll get up in 10 minutes or 5 minutes ho jati hu, kal raat ko itni late ho gaya, etc., etc. Then your brain is reading that you don't have that kind of discipline. So if you cannot have that discipline even in getting up in the morning, how can you get that discipline in doing other things? The brain, subconscious mind is not willing to accept it. Okay. So second thing is after the code of conduct, the morality, discipline. So you have to instill that kind of discipline. And third, when you go, from stage by stage. So yam niyam asan, the posture, the kind of posture which you have. So that posture should show the kind of identity, personal identity. It's not about your personal identity. It's how you are creating your identity in front of others, the positioning. Okay, because you will not position yourself. The audience will position you. So to understand this thing, that even in business also, it's not that I am positioning myself in front of others. It's basically the audience who positions your product in their mind, how it is going to position it. That is very, very important. Brand positioning just came back. Next, when you talk about posture, then you talk about breathing techniques. You move to those techniques, tools and techniques which are required. For the body, it's the breathing techniques. For business to breathe in, what kind of tools and techniques are required? You must understand all those tools and techniques. You must follow the pattern, how you have to go ahead with that. In your business, you will definitely have different kinds of tools. In the other business, they will have different kinds of tools and techniques. Now, what are the tools and techniques? You must know about them, the skill set which is needed. Next is distraction, away, withdrawal from distractions, pratyahar. So now getting inside it. Now you understand that you have the code of conduct, you have the discipline, you have positioned yourself. Now you know that you have all the tools and techniques which are needed. Now you have to draw yourself from the distractions. And what are the distractions? What others are doing. So generally what we do, competition, market analysis, competitive analysis. But I suggest instead of doing that analysis for the matter that what the other person is doing, so I should play a game of chess, that it's his move, this should be my move. This should not be the strategy. I believe your strategy must be unique because you have your USP in place. Unique selling proposition is yours. And when it is unique, even two leaves are not identical. Why do you want to make your move as identical? It should be effective, not identical. So make that move in such a manner that it makes you different from others. You have to think differently. So this is withdrawal from distractions. You don't have to distract about other things. And next is concentration. Okay, dharana. You have to accept it. You have to absorb it. That absorption should be there. And then the focus one on that particular thing where you have to reach, that why, that vision, that purpose, which is your North Star. Now, when you have to reach there, your focus is exactly on that thing. Machli ki aankh par. That's the focus. So you are going to establish that machli ki aankh par wala focus only when you are following each and every step properly. And last, which we call as samadhi, is the flow position. Now you will get the flow in your business. The kind of flow you want, you will only achieve that flow when you follow these steps of clarity. So this clarity I've taken from Patanjali Yoga Darshan, and this I wanted to share with everyone.
I think you have actually made a very good BMC, which I will talk is the business model canvas, in a very spiritual way. But many a times it is also very confusing. That you have to reach your certain goal and you really start with full swing. But beach mein, there is something which comes as stagnation. जहां पे आपने जो लास्ट में फ्लो बताया ना, क्योंकि that flow is not at all seen. You feel that the whole thing is stagnated and the dam is not released. And then how do you navigate those set of people to achieve that clarity of their goals, to be who they want to be, like the plan A, will definitely have to have the plan B. And I think in COVID, we have also learned about not only having plan B, now I see the corporates are also talking about plan C. Ki plan A is where I'm functioning, plan B is my second plan. And in case if both is not working, my plan C is also going to be in the blueprint. So here, how do we navigate those goals and dreams if they become standstill?
So I will say ask the right questions. Very, very important.
Like,
Okay.
like,
Ask the right questions in the sense, first of all, your vision. First of all, your vision statement, the purpose statement, which has to be very, very clear, clearly defined. The mission statement along with your time frame, it has to be defined. So when these two things are defined, then there is nothing which is, giving you that kind of setback in your mind. Okay, whether I should go with this plan or that plan or that plan. If I will fail, then what will happen? Then the doubt is not there. Even if one plan fails, you are willing to accept the lesson, because if we go by again, Earl Nightingale, the dialogue is that everything starts with an idea. Okay, so now you have to go back to your roots again. Go back to this idea, this vision, this mission. Now that vision is basically taking you where you want to reach. Again, you have to ask the right questions in the sense, what does my customer need? Okay, now what is the requirement of the customer? So now create a avatar of your customer. Okay, that customer avatar should match with your persona. If I talk about these small scale entrepreneurs with whom I'm working, I just tell them, what is your backstory? What is that itch that hurts you most? Okay, and you can create your business plan on the basis of that thing, that pain point, which is hurting you so badly that you want to challenge it. You want to find the solution for that. And when you have the experiences which you can share because you have reached that point, definitely you will find the business plan so that you can help the other person. Because now you have navigated, you resonate it with your persona. You have to resonate your customer avatar with your persona, with your pain point, with your itch, with your hurt, where it hurts the most. You have to pick up that point and then start from that point again. Because it will always be the hurt point which will give you the way how you can, reach that place where it is not hurting.
So basically, are you also talking about, rather than being general, be very specific?
Specific, micro.
Right? So
very, very specific.
Not from macro, but come to the micro.
You find out a big problem. For example, there are so many big problems. Mental issue is a very big problem. But people are addressing, I am a holistic wellness coach, let's say. Okay. Now, what can be that specific name or that specific field where you can do that? So then I'm telling them, you can talk about mindset sensitivity coach or consultant. Okay. Now what you're doing is you are picking up the specific thing. Okay. And you will find out the market for that. Just imagine if I have done my own market analysis and I could find there are 160 million homemakers in our country. 160 million. I cannot cater everyone. So there are so many groups together which are working. That is their market. And then there are only 2 million homemakers on FB. So that means the potential market is sleeping. 158 million housewives, homemakers, they are sleeping. And we have to nudge that sleeping market. Okay. Now, how we can reach there? And that was the reason of creating this platform. WSV Horizons, because I knew that you cannot actually go to all your potential customers through Facebook. You need a separate platform for that. Okay. So when you know that who is your customer, how will you get to know that this is your customer? That will be based on your backstory, the hurt point, the pain point where you started. If I tell you about my backstory, I've been for 15 years, I've been the housewife, the homemaker. And with all hit and trial methods, after every, every other person he was telling me or she was telling me, even my family members, they were telling me that the outside world is very, very brutal, etc., etc., etc. And there were so many things due to which it was so difficult for me to come out of that cocoon. Okay. But what was difficult for me, for which I had to, start a journey and reached here after 7 years. If I can help other women to, create their own path within 3 months, which is a possibility. With all the methods, with all the techniques, whatever I have followed, with all those things, I have taken the ladies to that place. So this is something, when you are very clear in your mind that this was my hurt point. And if you go back to your hurt point and then you look at your vision, I don't think in between there is any setback which can stop you. You can see the story of Air Deccan.
So Dr. Preeti, when you talk about setback, I have a question for you. There is many a time, मन में है विश्वास, पूरा है विश्वास, हम होंगे कामयाब एक ही दिन. So that हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन जो होता है, कभी कभार that one day never comes, right? Why does that one day never comes? Is maybe that I am not persistent with what I'm doing. And many a times it is the other people who are in our space, they are not confident about us, or they are not really sure about us, ki what are we up to and what do we want to do. So there are people who are ready to pull you back and tell you, you're doing a wrong thing, and that is the time when I need to understand, how does a clarity coach allow the person to take appropriate decisions, not following the emotions or not understanding, but actually believing in himself or herself. So how does the role of clarity coach is seen in this space?
So I say hurt people. Okay. And when hurt people, so why you want to become a hurt person? Because you will also hurt someone. So be in self-love up to the extent that your subconscious programming, it helps you to become so prominent in whatever you are doing, so confident in whatever you are doing. If you're following the right procedures, if you're following the, if you are persistent in your efforts, if you're consistent in your efforts, and if you have your vision crystal clear in your mind, there is nothing which can deter you, nothing at all. Because you are so confident in your own self, you will find out your place, your space everywhere. If you have to you have to stick a painting on the wall, let's say, okay, and the wall is saying, yaar, mujhe space nahi deni, I don't want that nail to be given that, even that space also, and the nail is telling that mujhe hathoda nahi khana. Would you be able to us painting ko wahan tang paoge? Na, kabhi bhi nahi. Why? Because the wall is not giving you the space, or the nail is not willing to, get that kind of strokes from that thing. So if you are worried about these strokes, if you are worried about people that they are not giving me space, then things will become impossible for you, because your subconscious programming is not helping you out. If you are crystal clear that I am that beautiful painting, and I have to be, on this wall, then there is nothing of that sort. Yes, definitely, I have to work on the mindset. It takes me approximately 1 to 2 months to work on the mindset of ladies. I remember there was one woman who was 40 plus, who wanted to start with a business, but it was so difficult for her to, make videos. It was really difficult for her. So I had to convince her. Approximately for 2 hours, we talked, and then I convinced her, at least just make one video. And then in the community, I promoted that video, and then everybody, they appreciated. And that appreciation, that support system which was needed, it was given to her. And then she understood one thing, that she is not willing to listen to anybody else than to this sisterhood community. So she was committed that now I have to do whatever it takes. I have to be committed.
That's very true. Like people develop that courage only and only after appreciation. But there are many of them who are even in their guilt, who are in their shame, and who have always been said, ki why are you following her? It is your house, you should see this. It is your family, you should look after. It is your child where you need to give education. And that is how the entire guilt trip has been made for that lady or for that entrepreneur, where the person again wants to give up everything, give up all on their dreams, and then take a back seat ki yes, maybe this is not what I really want to do, and coming out with that dream come true kabhi after some time. So of course there would be these cases also which you would be going through. So how does that shift happens from not being doing anything and again taking that leap or courage to come out and do everything? How does that happen?
Yeah. So this is something, again, we will go back to the mindset. First of all, we all are accustomed to stay in the scarcity mindset. Even if we, move up, so we will reach to the success mindset, that this is the success, this is the field of success, and I should not go beyond that. So you have to find out that point which gives you significance. Okay, that significant mindset is very, very important, because when you find out your significance, this is the way you can create the difference in somebody's life. So that particular thing, that clarity in your mind, that is the only thing that navigates you. Because once you get that clarity that this is my significant area where I can create the difference in anybody's life, then definitely you will not feel bad about these guilts, shame, etc. Because now you are getting into the self-inquiry mode. You get into that self-doubt mode only when your subconscious programming is like that. When you are into that scarcity mindset, what will happen? What if? Okay, so that what if should be converted into that why not? If she can do it, I can also do it. If he is doing it, I can also do it. So we just have to change that self-talk. The kind of system which we have to follow is how you are questioning yourself, which is really important. Is it that thing that I will challenge? Is it that thing for which I'm only interested? Or is it that thing for which I'm totally committed? Is it that thing for which I can give my life also? So when you find out that significance, there is nothing which can deter you. For me, my vision, my purpose of life is giving me strength to move on. Without thinking about profits, without thinking about revenues, without thinking about anything else. It is just that vision in my mind, which should be larger than your own life. The purpose should be larger than your own life. Our problem is that we set our goal on the basis of smart goals. There is a R jo hai na, that stands for realistic. Realistic. I mean, that reminds me a story, there was a lion cub and he was raised by a family of sheep. And, there was a lion who wanted to hunt the herd of sheep, and they were running, and the lion cub was also running along with them. And he just pounced on that lion cub and picked him up and took him to the river. And the lion cub was pleading, please don't eat me, please don't eat me. So the lion, he showed him his reflection on the, in the water, and he told him, look, you're also lion, I'm also lion. And then he roared. And he told him, look, you can also roar like this. And when he roared, he realized that he was lion. Now the difference is, till the time you don't realize that you are universe, you only seek. And when you realize that you are universe, you tend to give. You are willing to contribute. And when you tend to contribute, there is nothing which can stop you. So there is nothing which I say as realistic. You are unlimited. You are boundaryless. So you definitely you have to set a goal, because there should be some aspirational goal. There should be some value, but your vision should be such, your purpose should be such, which makes you that kind of, that should not be, that should not be realistic. I would not say realistic is something where you have set your thermostat. अगर 25 डिग्री का टेम्परेचर सेट है तो 25 डिग्री का ही रहेगा. Why? You are creating that thermostat in your mind. So your subconscious mind is telling you, you can't do it, you can't do it. There was first time when something was done. And that first time created that benchmark. Why can't you be the first time? So I say that it is only your subconscious programming. It is only your habit formation. It is only your belief system which is creating the problems for you. If you are crystal clear in your mind that this is my goal, this is what I have to achieve, this is the significant point of my life, this is where I can create difference in many people's life. Start with one person. If you don't know how to do it, then delegate it. There will be many a times when there are, I say there are 3 ways to do a work. Do it, delete it, or delegate it. If it is unnecessary, delete it. If you can't do it, but it is important for you, delegate it. If you are passionate about it, then do it. Do it wrong. That's fine. Then do it right. Then do it again. Then do it again, and again. And then do it the best. So that's the only thing. How can you, how you can reach that point? That failure, that system, like last time I could not achieve it, that is the reason I won't be able to achieve it, then go by the law of wasted efforts. Because 70% of the times, the lion also fails in getting his, hunt. Seed जो आपके हम लोग डालते हैं उसके अंदर, 70% of the time, all of them, they are not sprouting. Only 30% of them are sprouting. So that is the law of wasted effort. So human being is the only one जो अपने setback से परेशान हो जाता है.
That's a beautiful thing. So before I hand it over to Deepak sir for the next round, my last question for you is, when you talk about financial goals, and I'm seeing, of course, our Deepak sir is one of the financial compounder and a maestro in financial. But let me tell you that we have suddenly started categorizing even the money.
True.
Ki this is what the male can do, this is what the female can do. Though the male is buying a property, but it will be on the name of the female. But the female can't go and choose a property, or the female can't be a good investor. So how do you navigate even these kind of mindsets? And after that, it's all yours, Deepak sir.
See, for financial goals, first of all, they need to understand that even if they're homemakers, there should be LIC policies for them. I raised this question that time also, because this is something which gives me, that kind of hurt feeling inside, that for the homemakers, their opportunity cost is too high. Nobody realizes once the lady is gone, only then it is realized that for laundry, for everything, for making food, for driving, for taking the children to the school, etc., everything is now being, you can see that kind of thing. Now, for the women, I say that you have to take care of your finances. First of all, when you're doing business, you have to take out your emergency fund, which is very, very important, because you have to take that money for which you want to earn, but it should be reinvested somewhere. Okay. So for the homemakers, I always tell them that make a small saving jar at your house. And there should be this should be first thing in the morning, that you just keep, just 100 rupee note in that saving jar every day. And at the end of the month, you will have 3,000 rupees. Call the post office wala guy, tell him to create your RD. That's your small saving. So how you can do that? First of all, you can convert your savings into investments. Second of all, your जो स्पेंडिंग वाली जो हमारी जो अंदर की वो रहती है, एक इच रहती है हमारे अंदर for the women, because if you really say that Indian GDP most of the times is 80% in the cupboards of ladies, lying idle, doing nothing. Okay, and what we are doing, we are always buying clothes, storing them, buying clothes, storing them, buying jewelry, storing them, buying this thing, storing them. It's of no use. So first of all, you need to understand the motive behind spending. What is your motive behind spending? Then I give them the 24 hours rule. If you want to go to the online, आपको जाना है शॉपिंग करने, add to cart करके रख लो 24 hours के लिए, यार प्रॉब्लम क्या है? Just keep it there for 24 hours, and then I am 100% sure 90% of the times you will not buy that stuff, because now out of sight, out of mind. That is the thing. And that is the psyche of the person, psychology, customer psychology is jitna dikhaoge, utna bikega. Yes, it is like that. Now you have to take control of, you have to take charge of your spending, which is very, very important. In economics also, and anywhere we have learned this thing that income minus expenditure is equal to saving. And then we tell them income minus saving should be equal to expenditure. The first rule. Now, kitna saving karna hai? Agar aapse nahi ho pa raha hai, just start, every day, that 100 rupees, that is going to, create that habit in you. So first create the habit of saving so that you can save further also.
So, when you are listening to money and when your topic is money, वो थोड़ा ज्यादा ध्यान से सुनना पड़ता है कि क्या लोग सही बोल रहे हैं और whether मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ और वो जो बोल रहे हैं exactly same है कि नहीं. Thank you for sharing that clarity a little bit. I just have this habit of singing a song whenever one of these programs are there, and Dr. Neeta said जाना कहाँ है, तो मुझे जाना और गाना immediately याद आ गया. जाना कहाँ है, प्यार जहाँ है. तो जाना तो वहां है जहां प्यार है, जहां लव है, जहां अफेक्शन है, जहां क्लैरिटी है. My question to Dr. Preeti Batra, and she has spoken about the hurt point a lot, in these last 40-45 minutes. कहते हैं ना, अक्कल बादाम और अखरोट खाने से नहीं आती है, ठोकर खाने से आती है. तो ये ठोकर खाने के बाद ही क्यों अक्कल आती है? Why does there need to be a hurt point? Why can't we simply progress? Why can't there be a simple progression in life?
Very, very true. यहाँ पर I would like to quote, because I'm so fond of movies. ठीक है, I would like to quote Dear Zindagi में. He says that the person had to climb the mountain. अब mountain पे चढ़ने से पहले, if he is not learning, then he is unable to climb up, isn't it? तो वही चीज है हमारे साथ में. हम लोग जो है या तो दूसरों से सीखते हैं या फिर we try and do it on our own. Okay, and when we try to do it on our own, and if we are not willing to learn from others' mistakes, it is only at that time that we learn out of that kind of thing which you are saying कि ठोकर खाने के बाद ही हम क्यों सीखते हैं. हम बहुत से लोगों से सीख सकते हैं, but we are not willing to learn at that point in time because हमको खुद को वो feel नहीं हुआ, वो hurt आया नहीं अभी तक. So at times, yes, there are people जो बिना hurt के भी जो है आगे बढ़े हैं. There are people, they knew their journey, they knew from the beginning, or they must have learned from others. So this is a beautiful art of learning from others' mistakes. Yeah. That's what now we are doing. When now you've got that hurt point. Yes. And you understand the pain of other people, but they have not got that kind of hurt in their mind. And now you have to navigate them. Before they get hurt, they must understand how they can reach there. Okay, so you are helping those people now, and that's your you can say that significant moment. So yes, definitely this is something which is with all humans, and we have faced this thing every time. It is because of one hurt situation that we get that kind of transformation moment in our life. I would call it as divine timing.
So, you know, that hurt point sometimes, and as you said, many a times gives you clarity. A trainer, a coach, a mentor tells you what to do, and then you go to the next level. But there are times this hurt point, कभी किसी ने प्यार में या इवन गुस्से में आके कुछ ना कुछ बोल दिया, खत्म, इसके बाद मैं इसके साथ बात नहीं करूंगी, समझती क्या है अपने आप को। वो हर्ट पॉइंट फिर हमेशा जिंदगी में एक लेवल आदमी की काट डालती है। I do not want to have any relationship, nothing to do. How do you come out of that mindset? How do you help somebody change कि ये जिसने बोला था या तो मजाक में बोला था, सच्ची नहीं बोला था, या आप क्यों दिल पर ले रहे हैं?
See, we all have our frames of references. We always refer to something, you know, to get something out of our memory block. We refer some point, whatever past experience we had, whatever memories we are carrying about that thing, what kind of habit patterns we have, you know, adopted over a period of time, because of which we give meaning to a concept. Okay. And that response to that concept is the core of our response. That is why we respond to that person. Now, if in case we can change the meaning of that concept by having different perspectives. Example, फिर से एक movie का लेते हैं, and I'm sure everybody must have seen that movie चुपके चुपके. So it's one of the most beautiful movies. And now Amitabh Bachchan, he is trying to, you know, tell Jai Bhaduri about his love. He wants to express, but he is unable to do that. And Jai Bhaduri, she misunderstood because she thinks that he is flirting. Because in her mind, the concept was that he is a married man. Okay. And as that concept, as the meaning of that concept changed in her mind, she developed that thing. Okay. So what changed? Again, the story of the cup, lion cup. Again, that thing. So basically what we have to do is we have to change the meaning of that concept in our mind. And then definitely nothing will hurt you. And when you are in self-love, nothing can hurt you. You will not pay attention to these things because आपको लगेगा यार ये सामने वाला जो बोल रहा है, hurt people. आपके दिमाग के अंदर पहली चीज आएगा ये सामने वाला बंदा, he is hurt from inside. There is some hurt point inside him. अब फिर से एक और मूवी का जब वी मेट, तुम कुछ भी बोल सकते हो क्योंकि तुम अभी उस हालत में हो, तुम अभी उस एंगर में हो. So Kareena Kapoor is telling him. So which means that you have given that thing, you know, you have kept that thing in your mind. कि this person can say something. जैसे ही आप वो concept को meaning देते हो, उस टाइम पे आपके अंदर का गुस्सा सब खत्म हो जाता है. इनफैक्ट व्हेन यू आर इन सेल्फ लव, आपको गुस्सा आता ही नहीं है. You feel everything as you are moving in that flow. And when you are the universe, you should not be scared. I always say that you are the child of a multimillionaire father. And you're asking, yeah. So you're a child of a multimillionaire father. अपने multimillionaire father से आप 10 रुपए मांगोगे? Think about it. उनकी reputation का सवाल है. You know, how can you ask? So that's the whole thing. हमारा जो concept रहता है वो इसने ये बोल दिया, उसने वो बोल दिया. This is something where we are giving our time. Okay. So what you have to think about is whenever you are, you know, looking into this situation, is this a harmful situation? Should I say this? Is this harmful for me? Is this helpful for me? If it is not helpful, should I do this? Okay. So this is one particular thing, a tool, a technique. Is this helpful? Is this harmful? This helps a lot, even, you know, for your diet pattern, for your relationships, anywhere and everywhere. Is this helpful? Is this harmful? If you answer these two questions, you will understand whether you have to do it or you don't have to do it.
Very, very well said. Very well said. You know, वो कहते हैं ना, every human being is potentially a god. हम भगवान से मांगते क्या है? मुझे ये चाहिए, मुझे वो चाहिए. अरे ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए क्या? भगवान से भगवान मांगो, सब कुछ मिल जाएगा. फिर और कुछ मांगने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. Make me like you. I don't want anything else. And then you have everything what you want. That is good clarity coming from a clarity coach, clarity person. Wonderful, Dr. Preeti, for sharing this. At this time, I have got 10 more minutes in the program. What I would like to do is, I would like to ask anyone in the audience, please unmute yourself if you want to ask a question to Dr. Preeti, or if you have anything to say, share, give a story, some clarity which you got in the last 45-50 minutes. Go ahead. Dr. Alka Chadda.
So, Preeti, it was really wonderful listening to you. Very, very nicely said. And I like your "jab we met," and I like your metaphors that you're using, because it makes us understand it more clearly. Because
doctor.
हाँ,
डॉक्टर चुपके चुपके
yeah, so वो कहते हैं ना कि जब कहानी के जब when you tell a story, it becomes very easy for us to understand, and you've done it very, very beautifully. In the beginning, I was completely, swept off my feet when you're talking about Dhyan Dharana Samadhi, because I being a qualified yoga teacher, I understood that very well. And I was thinking to myself, why do we read foreign books? Why do we need to listen to any foreign speakers for that matter? We have so much of knowledge within our own culture, in our own inheritance and all that we have, our scriptures and everything. And that itself is more than enough. And when you talk about Dhyan Dharana Samadhi, it is about just focusing. और बाहर वाले लोग हमारे इंडिया में आते हैं, हमारी से पढ़ के जाते हैं और वहां जाके किताबें पब्लिश करते हैं, 25,000 रुपीज की किताब बेचते हैं. तो जो आपने बोला ना, इतना सुंदर बोला कि ध्यान धारणा समाधि means you just focus on what you really want to do. And there's a book by some person called Neal, one day I was talking to my friend, so she said, I have read that book, Indistractable. It allows you to distract yourself from the distractions. I said, wonderful, you need a book for that. But we can do Dhyan Dharana Samadhi and we can distract ourselves. So I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it is difficult, as you rightly pointed out. My question to you is, ma'am, that आपकी लाइफ में जो आपने clarity आपको मिली, when did you really get the clarity? Like you told us about your journey, and you were very, very vulnerable in telling us that you had a lot of problems in your life. You went through all of that. But when was the time when you got the clarity of your purpose of your life and of what you really want to do in your life and why you want to do it? I just want to know that from you.
Thank you so much, Alka ma'am, and please don't call me ma'am. थोड़ा सा embarrassed feel करती हूँ मैं. So you can call me Preeti.
Preeti,
Yeah.
मेरी जो मम्मी का जो पीहर है ना, वो बत्रा है. So I'll call you. All my sisters and brothers are all Batras.
सब दिल्ली वाले ही हैं, दिल्ली, नोएडा, गाजियाबाद, सब वहीं के ही हैं, एनसीआर वाले.
हाँ, सब वहीं पे ही हैं, यहाँ पे भी, वहाँ पे भी हैं. Okay, continue.
Okay. So sorry. So about me, yes, I got clarity in year January 2022. I was totally clear about my purpose. And before that, I was in my subconscious programming. I changed my habits. I worked on my skill set. I was working on my skill set. It is not that you cannot acquire a skill set just like that.
Correct.
I am a spiritual person. You can say, with God's grace, I was born in an RSMRG family where, I could go to all the meditation camps and all. Okay. And I found one thing, that whenever we are talking about Arya Samaj, or whenever we are talking about Indian scriptures, they are full of knowledge.
Yes.
But what other people, the third world, which has accepted, is the action part. Okay. So we must adopt that action path from them. Why? Because we have not taken this thing into, इस knowledge वाले system को हमने metaphors के साथ में शो ही नहीं किया लोगों को. So it has been a concrete knowledge. उस concrete को एक समझने वाली भाषा में समझाया जाना is really important. वो Western culture ने किया है. Okay. So I think we should be, because we are so always welcoming guests. तो वो हमारा culture का part है, nature है, हमारी nature है, हमारी Mother India ने हमको सिखाया है. So let's accept everyone. जो आ रहा है accept करते चले जाओ. So that's one thing. And secondly, yes, about the clarity of my purpose. I don't know how, but one fine day I realized that in 2021, when I was doing business, I was facing many setbacks. In fact, first business, it was totally failed. I mean, I'm also working with management institutes. I'm a visiting faculty there. And the thing is that मेरे लिए it was very difficult to accept this entrepreneurial journey in such a manner कि इतना failure क्यों हो रहा है. And I realized that to market your product, for that brand positioning, there are so many strategies which you need to follow. You have to develop that trust. You have to develop that credibility. वो सब कैसे करना है? LinkedIn कैसे follow करना है? Joined LinkedIn last year, but जनवरी तक तो उसको यूज ही नहीं किया, समझ ही नहीं आया करना कैसे. In fact, I should say 2013 में कर लिया था. I have written 2 books also. They're available with Amazon. So one is the Lost Affair on Material Relationships. Second one is Tryst with Divinity on Spiritual Relationships. Both are fiction novels. So मुझे लगा कि ठीक है, मेरी एस्पिरेशंस तो मैं पूरी कर ही रही हूँ, सब कुछ मिल रहा है, मतलब डॉक्टर भी लग गया नाम के आगे, अच्छी लविंग फैमिली भी है, सब कुछ है. So I was very calm, contented within myself. कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं थी. ये जो पर्पस डिफाइन हुआ ये आफ्टर दिस बिजनेस, जब मैं फेल हुई तो आई रियलाइज देयर आर सो मेनी विमेन हु वो दे बिकम मोर वल्नरेबल. एक बार ही उनका बिजनेस फेल हो गया ना, उसके बाद वो दोबारा उठ ही नहीं पाती. तो व्हाट आर द रीजंस, क्यों नहीं उठ पाती? प्रॉब्लम कहाँ आ रही है? क्या कोई स्किल में प्रॉब्लम है, कोई किसी चीज में प्रॉब्लम है, कहाँ प्रॉब्लम है? देन आई स्टार्टेड विद माय ओन जर्नी एंड विद ऑल क्लैरिटी इन माय माइंड व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड cold calling and everything. And when I got initial 60 people in my community, 60 women in my community, then I realized that, look, this is not difficult. It was just that first step of clarity which should be there. Clarity on your mindset, clarity about your skill set, clarity on your action set, which is required. So if you have clarity on these 3 things, you can achieve the results in the business. So that was the only thing. So that was my transformational point when I failed in my business. And when I was told, छोड़ दो, बंद कर दो. And it was a certified startup. उसको LLP बना के उसको मैंने start किया था. Vision तब भी यही था, but it was like I will create something, a institute kind of a thing, online institute. Okay, where so many coaches will come and we will have one enterprise license for the LMS system. So that was the business model. But it completely shattered. So then I realized we actually need a co-marketing space and networking space where we can create that kind of credibility, where we can learn how to do it. Then I'm helping them in content writing also. I'm helping from first step to last step. Okay, यहाँ पर अभी ये problem है ना. Whenever you feel any kind of growth blocker, you come to me. I have people in my periphery जहाँ पर भी मेरे को लगता है कि he is the best person to help you without any frauds.
Yeah.
You can go to that person. So they blindly trust कि हाँ, अगर प्रीति ने बोला है तो इसके पास जाना चाहिए, कंपनी रजिस्ट्रेशन करानी है इनके पास जाना चाहिए, अकाउंट्स के लिए चाहिए इनके पास जाना चाहिए. So that ways. So I'm helping women कि आपको ये चीज करवानी है, okay, यहाँ जाओ. MSME रजिस्टर करवाना है, यहाँ जाओ. स्टार्टअप रजिस्ट्रेशन चाहिए, इनके पास जाओ. That ways. So that growth blocker, I'm not doing that. I'm just telling them, यहाँ ये वाली जगह पे आप जा सकते हो. For content, आपको एड कॉपी, क्रिएटिव्स, कुछ भी चाहिए, क्रिएटिव्स आप खुद बनाओगे. कंटेंट यू नीड, यू टेक फ्रॉम मी. I'll give it to you. So I'm doing it without thinking about कैसे आगे बढ़ना है. My purpose is to give 100x value to my clients, 100x value to all the women in my community. So वो चीज जो है वो है यहाँ पर, बस यही एक दिमाग के अंदर है. That is my business goal as of now.
Thank you, Dr. Alka, for asking those questions. Anybody else from the audience? We've got 2 more minutes before we close. So हमारे ऑडियंस लेडीज हैं, काफी शर्मा रही हैं लगता है, तो उनको भी थोड़ी शायद क्लैरिटी चाहिए हाउ टू ओपन अप व्हेन यू आर इन अ Zoom meeting and ask question. Don't worry, you will not be judged. It's a closed environment. I just have 2 takes on 2 things Preeti said. One was that jar. मैं कहता हूँ वो जार को तो जरूर चालू रखिए. Keep that habit of putting money in the jar. क्यों? वो जब demonetization हुआ था ना, वो लेडीज के घर पे जो जार में ही पैसा था ना, उससे ही घर चले थे. बाकी सब 500 और 1000 वाले नोट की हालत खराब हो गई थी. तो जार तो भरते ही रहिए, छोटे छोटे डिनोमिनेशन के नोट डालिए, जितना भर सकता है उसको भरिए और काम में आएगा. सेकंड, you gave that example of putting that thing which you want to buy online in the cart. I'll tell you, there are 2 things which happen. If you put something in your cart for 24 hours. And the idea is very, very good, because next day you will probably realize whether you need it or not. However, two things happen. The algo knows that you have put this in your cart. Invariably, the next day the price will go up. मौका मिलता है कोई चीज सस्ते में मिलती है, and don't put it in your cart and wait. The algo will increase the price. However, if you are doing it for Swiggy or Dunzo, I'm telling you, put it for 24 hours और दूसरे दिन सस्ता हो जाता है, because that fellow realizes इसको ये चीज चाहिए, चलो 10 रुपए का इसको डिस्काउंट कूपन भेज देते हैं. So these two things happen, when you put things in the cart and then you wait for 24 hours. Having said that, it is exactly 1:30, in fact 1:31. We are known to start on time and close on time. Let me take this opportunity to thank Dr. Preeti Batra for joining us today. Clarity Coach has given us all clarity on various things in life. We would like to be continuing our association with you. This is not the first and the last program you are part of on Bloom. We would like to be associated with you in the future, just as you are providing clarity to a lot of people within your community. Bloom also would like to be a part of the Bloom community as well. Let me take this opportunity to thank you and everybody else who joined in today on a Sunday afternoon, requesting you to join us again on another program next Sunday, 12:30 p.m. on the Bloom Talk Show, where we will have another expert guiding us, helping us, getting us achieve clarity on how things are going to move ahead. Thank you, everyone. God bless, and see you on next Sunday.